There's a in-depth one. It was one of the first ones I made, just so I can stay accountable. But this was the life goal video um, that comes up with this perpetuity fund that's supposed to fight abject poverty or any of the largest needs forever, in theory. So it's based off of Benjamin Franklin. Kind of go into this. It's gonna be pretty quick, but I used Gamma. It looks a little bit more professional, and I thought it would just be a quick review of it. But Perpetuity Fund for Global Development. I'm gonna read this first part here. It's basically gonna sum it up. Inspired by Benjamin Franklin and the proverb "Teach a man to fish." Our 100 million, or this is already that we've made it, but you know, our $100 million perpetuity fund aims to eradicate abject poverty through education and community empowerment. We focus on creating schools, providing education supplies, and fostering local innovation in developing countries. And the reason why we're focusing on education and fostering local innovation is to not, basically make everything in the first world country and hope it spills out into developing countries, but to start the innovation and support that. So, you know, we basically make them self-sufficient rather than being dependent on the first world, because I'm afraid that the first world countries not gonna forget, but send the scraps to developing countries when they could use it and benefit it the most to improve their living situation and everybody else's future. So that's what this is gonna be. How is it gonna work? We're gonna invest. First of all, we gotta make a bunch of money, and if I die, just like Benjamin Franklin, I'm gonna have it sit until it hits $100 million. We're gonna invest it in something simple like the S&P annual allocation. So if it's a negative year, don't pull out. But if it's a positive year, one that goes above inflation and above 2% because we're going to reinvest it. So it always grows even larger to help more people out. Then we're going to take off those two, and whatever's left over, then it's going to help go towards abject poverty or some of the other ones that we're going to talk about in a minute. Just briefly touch on. What are we going to do with all the money? We're going to give it to community-led projects, locals, or, it is going to be locals or people who are directly tied, have experience in it, and have a good track record. Those will be elected people, but they're not politicians. They're just there to help people. This should not get super religious or super political, because the only reason for this is just to help people. In perpetual growth. So the principle, like I just said, short terms, the principle continues to grow, preserving value for future generations. Future goals and beyond. Not in this order because Gamma made this, and I don't know how to even wrap my head around these problems in order. Which one's the worst? Which one needs the most help? Let's use positive words. But I want to focus on affordable housing, like single family homes if possible. But they make those 3D houses, so affordable single family homes would be way down the line, but 3D houses or more efficient housing that we can come up with really quick to get people out of like tin sheds or just sleeping wherever, that'd be fantastic. So affordable housing in that sense, fostering family stability, because if you look at like, I don't know if it was like 90% of homeless people or the huge majority of people who get arrested come from fatherless homes. So it's not saying the mom has or that it's the same each time. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't have to always like cover my back with that, but I think it's better to have a mom and a dad, or just two parents playing the role. One masculine, one feminine. I'm sure you can make it work with whatever mixture you got, but usually somebody's more nurturing and usually someone's more disciplinary. So I think that's a very important structure to have. So preserving that, of course, protecting women and children. Sorry, guys. I know there's already, Minneapolis with the homeless projects, there's mostly for women and children. Guys are For homeless projects, they don't get as much love, but uh, my priority is protecting women and children. So um, obviously, we want to help everybody out, but put in more responsibility on the guys. Access to higher education. So, of course, we want to do the initial innovation and help bring people up. But once we get everybody like not starving, dying of thirst, then we can focus on even more education to help bring everybody up. What I wouldn't want to happen is to like focus on one area, make it a first world country, and then rely on that to give scraps to everybody else in need. So the plan is to kind of bring everybody up as a whole, if possible. Because I know this is take a utilitarian approach right now of making all the money or waiting for it to take longer rather than just donating 100 million right away. It's a utilitarian approach, and that could be used to justify bringing one up at a time. But for the long term, I don't think it gives us the highest percentage of success. So I don't want to do that. Clean water and sanitation. Obviously, we want to make people stop dying from sickness and uh, being thirsty and hungry. So that's a pretty big one. Governance structure. How are we going to do this? How are we going to avoid corruption or whatever other thieving stuff there is? Going to be a small governing body. Don't want it to be large because then just nothing's going to be done quickly. So 3 to 5 members are going to be the big dogs, and there'll be a chain of command. They either have to have firsthand experience in poverty. Education in is kind of strange because I know some social work things that are not correct, even though they have the degree. So firsthand experience or community development. So it's fine. You don't need to be educated or have a college degree to do this. You just need to make sound decisions. So if you were exposed to it firsthand or observed it around, or I mean, this would be fantastic if you created an organization or demonstrated that you want to help people and you have a full understanding. That would be ideal for people to be with. Transparent selection, merit based processes involve nominations from, I don't know what NGO means, but community leaders. So basically, leaders, or I actually don't know how we're going to do this. Like, I don't have the lawyer talk down. So if anybody has ideas, please let me know. But to make it really short, small governing body, transparent selection, like very common sense. Who would be the best for this role? Staggered terms, 4 to 6 years. We don't be like Congress, can't get voted out or nothing. So 4 to 6 years. That way we can always bring in new ideas, new perspectives, and just keep rotating people through so there's no chance, well, probably is a chance, but less chance of corruption. And accountability measures. So independent audits. We want everything to be audited, make sure money's going the right way, and get community feedback mechanisms. So there won't be any, I know what I'm doing, I'm in charge of the money, and the community saying, but we need this, not that. There's none of that. Safeguarding the mission. Ethical charter. Figure out the Word documents that I'm not good at. Future guardianship board. So once I die, there should be periodic evaluations and restructuring, hopefully by that small governing body. Or maybe we just do a vote on social media because a whole bunch of people are on social media. So get feedback in that, throw it to an algorithm, spit out what we should do the most of or where we should do stuff. I don't know. Hopefully AI is to that point when we get there. Localized impact and partnership. Once again, talking to the community, empowering people who will help the community the most, and do it the least selfishly. So, yep. Empowering through education. We want to build schools, provide supplies to do it, foster innovation, and give teachers training. We want people to be happy to go to school. Join our mission. Get involved. Don't know what we're going to do with that or support our cause. Because, first of all, in order to make all this stuff, like a fancy dancy website and employ people and stuff, we need a bunch of money. And I'm working on that. So who knows? Maybe we'll get there in 60, 70 years. This is the life goal. Something to always work toward and maybe not attainable, but we're going to work like mad to try to get it. Thank you. Have a good night.